संस्थापक आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharyashto System of His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Braj Bhumi Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Purushottam Kshetra Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Krishna Bhakti Pradayani Srimati Tulasi Maharani Ki Kaliyug Pavan Harinam Sankirtan Ki Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai Shri Shinitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
His Grace Gauranga Prabhu Ki Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for coming on a weekday in such enthusiastic numbers. Can you please, all of us, move little ahead because more devotees are expected, so they can come. Today we are extremely fortunate to have the association of His Grace Gauranga Prabhu. In the interest of time, I will not give a detailed introduction, but suffice it to say that we are in Krishna consciousness, our family is in Krishna consciousness today because of Gauranga Prabhu. Gauranga Prabhu, I know him since I was 18 years old, and he is my Shiksha Guru, and he has taught me everything I know about Krishna consciousness. So I'm feeling very nervous introducing Gauranga Prabhu, but he is a very, very senior and very great devotee. So let us sit and absorb every word that Gauranga Prabhu speaks today. Let us enthusiastically welcome Gauranga Prabhu by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Please keep your phones on silent.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you very much Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, Ataji, and all the devotees here for organizing this satsang in the wonderful association of all the devotees here. Lord Chaitanya has given us 3 principles, and we will discuss that today evening. Name Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, and Jive Daya. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Akrurji, when he is entering into Vrindavan, he is seeing Krishna's beautiful lotus footprints in the Brajraj. And Akrurji gets down from the chariot and starts rolling on that in great ecstasy. And then he says, Yadarchitam Brahma Bhavani Visuraihi Shriyacha Devya Munehcha Satvate Gocharayana Anucharaischaradvane Yat Gopikanam Kuchak Kumkumankitam. What is the power and the glory of Krishna's lotus feet? That lotus feet of Krishna is being worshipped by the 330 million gods. Shriyacha Devya Munekcha Satvate. Even Lakshmi Devi herself is constantly aspiring to serve the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Gocharayana Anucharaischaradvane. And that Lord Krishna, with such unlimited power in his feet, is actually following in the footsteps and trying to serve the cows and the calves of Brajabhumi Vrindavan. Gocharayana Anucharaischaradvane. The cows and the calves are like not very strong in terms of their power. But because Krishna loves them so much, in spite of being very weak, Krishna makes it his priority to serve them. Gocharayana Anucharaischaradvane. That is Krishna and his heart. That Krishna is not swayed by the powerful personalities worshipping him. Krishna is looking for an opportunity to offer his service to the weakest of the weak in Braj, because out of love. You can take the children upstairs.
So children, please, those who are making noise, please go upstairs. There is a Zoom link.
Gocharayana Anucharaischaradvane Yat Gopikanam Kuchak Kumkumankitam. So that is the unique feature of Krishna in Vrindavan, that he is inspired to serve the devotees out of his love, Bhaktavatsal. And in the beautiful pastime of Damodar Leela, this principle is highlighted. Evam sandarshita hyanga Harina vrittavashyata Swavashenapi Krishnena Yasyedam Seshwaram Vashe. Nobody can control Krishna, but Krishna gets controlled by his devotees. Nemam virinchuna bhavona shrir api anga samshraya prasadile bhire gopi yattat prapya vimuktidat. And Krishna gave that position to Yashoda Mai which he did not even give to Brahmaji, to Shiva, Lord Shiva, or to even his own consort Lakshmi Devi, what he gave to Mother Yashoda, the opportunity to nourish him and feed him, because he was completely conquered by Yashoda Mai's love. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutam jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhaktimatam iha. So this pastime highlights that Krishna can neither be controlled by jnana or karma or yoga, as he can be conquered by bhakti, by devotional service and seva. And therefore Akrurji says, Deha Bratan iyan artho hitva dambham bhiyam shucham sandeshat yo harer linga darshana shravanadibhi. The soul has been carrying this body for millions of lifetimes. Bhagavatam describes that this body which we may be feeling very proud of is actually a major embarrassment for the soul. It's an insult for the soul. And the soul, carrying multiple bodies in multiple lifetimes, has been suffering like anything. Shrutaparito yathadina sarameya griham griham charanavindanti yatadishtam dandam odanamevava. Just like a dog who is overcome by hunger, a dog on the street. Kshutparito yatha dina sarameya. Overwhelmed by hunger and thirst, the dog is going from house to house, sometimes getting beaten up, sometimes getting food. Like that, the soul is traveling in millions of species, in millions of bodies, and trying to connect and engage with sense objects, sometimes experiencing pleasure, sometimes experiencing pain. Charanavindanti yat dishtam dandam odanam evava. So sometimes one will feel reciprocation as per our expectation. Other times we will be severely disappointed, because this material world is a place of dukkhalayam ashashvatam. And I tell this story that when I was in Mumbai, I saw one apartment and it was written that Sukha Shanti apartment, but below was written under repair and maintenance. So that is encapsulated in this verse. The dog is hungry, thirsty, but there is no guarantee where he will get food and water. Dandam and Odanam. And therefore Akrurja is saying that Deha Bhratan, carrying this body, Iyan Artho, for this purpose. Deha Bhratan Iyan Artho. What is that purpose? So Akrurji is having his view, darshan of Krishna's lotus footprints. And he's saying that when the conditioned soul after millions of lifetimes finally comes in contact with Krishna, either Krishna's name, form, pastimes, paraphernalia, in any form, hitva, giving up, dambham, giving up the false ego, bhiyam, fear, shucham, lamentation, sandeshat yo harer linga darshana shravanadibhi. He should take that opportunity to glorify Krishna, connect with Krishna and serve Krishna, knowing that the soul has been hankering for this moment since millions of lifetimes. This is the moment when the soul can actually realize its full potential. And therefore, the conditioned soul in a state of suffering in this world is in a totally bewildered state. And that is known as perplexity. Perplexity means a problem can be solved, but certain situations we go through in life cannot be solved. They are known as calamities and perplexities. You can only tolerate them. And therefore the material education system is only training people in solving problems. And it is only the body of spiritual knowledge which helps you cope with, deal with, and resolve your consciousness with respect to dealing with perplexities and calamities. Tapatrayena bhetasya ghore santapyamanasya bhavadvanisha pashyami nanyat sharanam tavangri dvandvat patratamrtabhivarshat. Uddhavji is telling, my dear Lord, my heart is scorching with deep pain because of Adidaivik, Adibhautik, Adhyatmic miseries. Santapyamanasya bhavad vanisha pashyamina anyat. I do not see any other shelter than what? Taking shelter of your lotus feet and reviving my lost relationship with you. Dvandvat patrat amritam vivarshat. So ultimately, the pain which is embedded within this world has a purpose. And that's what the Bhagavatam and the Gita are describing. What are the two categories of souls in this world?
Liberated and bonded.
One who goes through pain, and the second category is what? The one who goes through. One category goes through pain, and the second category is the one who knows the purpose behind the pain. The second category is not those who go through pleasure. So this is a mature audience. They kept quiet. They passed the test. Otherwise, many times when I say one is pain and what is the second category? Pleasure. Those who go through pleasure. No. Those who go through pain, and the second category is those who know the purpose behind the pain. That is all. Otherwise, pain is constant. That cannot be avoided. We have a, Narsingha Chaturdashi celebration way back in the late 60s in one of the temples in the West Coast. Early days. And they had made a nice carrot cake and they had offered to Lord Narsingha. And when the darshan opened for the evening arati, everybody saw, especially the temple devotees, they saw that and they were all excited. That looks attractive. So after the arati, when everybody sat for the prasadam, they started distributing that cake. So when you have been contemplating on something for a long time that it will give me pleasure, you expect that pleasure. So when the first devotee sitting in the line got that cake, he immediately pounced on it and took a bite of it. But the cook had made one mistake, forgot adding sugar. So the cake, although it was prasad, but did not taste the way he expected. It is transcendental. So you cannot criticize also. But it did not taste the way he expected. So his immediate reaction was that of disbelief. Disappointment, disbelief, dejection, and denial. That I have been contemplating for so long that this will give me pleasure. How can it give me pain? So he kept looking at the piece of cake with a deep sense of shock. Then he thought, maybe I should try biting from another corner. Asha Amar hai. So he tried that. Nothing changed. So he kept it down. Started eating rice and dal. He kept looking at the cake, thinking maybe the timing was not right. But what was missing was the ingredient which would give the taste of sweetness. So that is the ingredient which is missing in the material world, in the interaction of the senses with the sense objects. And that is exactly the biggest challenge in this material world. So Gajendra ji says, Namo namastubhyam asahya vegam shakti trayaya khiladhi gunaya prapanna palaya duranta shaktaye kadindriyanam anavapya vartmane. Says, my dear Lord, there are two problems which I see in this world. One, if there were no attractive sense objects, but the senses were uncontrolled, there would be no problem. Because if senses are uncontrolled but there are no attractive sense objects to get attracted to, so no problem. Second, if there are attractive sense objects but my senses are fully controlled, then also no problem. There is absolutely no issue in that case also. But the problem is, my dear Lord, you have created attractive sense objects and our senses are also uncontrolled. Prapanna palaya duranta shaktiye kadindriyanam anavapya vartmane. Kad indriyanam, that is the impure senses. When they come in contact with attractive sense objects, it's like fuel and fire. Therefore, taking your shelter is the only way we can be protected from the influence of material energy. And therefore, in the third canto, Devhoti Mata, she says, Nehayat karma dharmaya na piragaya kalpate na tirtha pada sevaya jivan na pimrtopisa. If one's karma does not lead to dharma, one's dharma does not lead to vairagya, and one's vairagya does not lead to bhakti, then one's life is not successful. Human life is meant to escape the clutches of Maya. And so she offers her prayer in regret to Kardan Muni. Sayam Bhagavata Nunam Vanchito Maya Yandridam Yattat Vimuktidam Prapya Namumukshaya Bandhanat. My dear Lord, my dear husband, I made a blunder. I got opportunities in life which I did not take advantage of. One who doesn't get any opportunities is unfortunate. But one who gets all the opportunities but does not utilize them, like I had a devotee father and mother
Swayambhuva Manu and his wife. I had the association of a great wonderful husband like yourself. I got the opportunity to associate with you. But rather than taking advantage spiritually, I have simply exhausted all of my association in sense gratification. Yattad vimuktidam prapya. The doors of liberation were right there, waiting for me to just open. Namamoksheya bandhanat. But rather than opening that door, I slammed the door shut and did not take advantage. And therefore, Krishna consciousness is the process by which the opportunity is given for us to disengage from Maya and re-engage with Krishna. That's the essence of the process, where Krishna allows us to reconnect, re-engage and reciprocate with Him. And He's waiting for us for a long period of time. One disciple asked Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, how will I find you in the spiritual world? Prabhupada said, you reach the spiritual world, I'll find you. You don't have to go so deep as to where you will find me. One devotee told Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, sometimes I feel I am in Maya. Prabhupada said, you are always in Maya. Sometimes you fall in Krishna. Another disciple asked, Srila Prabhupada, what is the duty of Guru and what is the duty of disciple? And Prabhupada said, duty of the Guru is to serve Krishna. Duty of the disciple is to serve, assist the Guru in his service to Krishna. So therefore, the entire process of Krishna consciousness is centered around how the Vaishnava Sangha can help us disengage from our attraction, attachment, obsession and absorption in Maya, in material energy, and reconnect with Krishna. That is basically the whole process which has been designed so beautifully by our Vaishnava Acharyas. So Lord Chaitanya therefore defines this principle as Name Ruchi, which basically means developing a taste for serving Krishna and gradually neglecting the taste in material energy. Yavat ragadayastena yavat kara griham yavat moham grinigado tavat krishna na tejanaha. Brahmaji is saying, my dear Lord, I see something interesting in Vrindavan. I don't see any sannyasis, sadhus, brahmacharis. I see only grihasthas. All are grihasthas. So, what makes Vrindavan so special? Because raga, the deep attachment in the hearts of the Brajvasis, is only for Krishna. Yavat kara griham. In every home in Braj, every member of the family is simply thinking first on how to please Krishna. If one does not think about how to please and serve Krishna, then that griham becomes kara griham. Karagraham means jail. It's not gharam with a car. Karagraham. Tavat moham gridnikadu. And then every Brajavasi in Braj is very clear that they are simply there to serve, assist and please Krishna. They are willing to go through unlimited pain to give pleasure to Krishna. Aho bhagyam nanda gopa prajokasam yanamitram paramanandam purna brahma sanatanam. Brahmaji is glorifying, Krishna is glorified as Purna Brahma, glorified as Narayana, Vishnu with Aishwarya, awe and reverence. But just see, Brajavasis are playing with Krishna as if his own family member. Ohoti dhanya brajago ramanya stanyamritam pitam ativate mudam yasam vibho vatsatarat majatmadaya triptaye adhyapina chalamadvaram. For 1 year, the gopis, the calves, they have been feeding Krishna in the form of the expansion when Brahma had stolen the calves and the boys. But it was Krishna who was drinking the milk. And that 1 year, what Krishna experienced while drinking that milk satisfied him unlimited times more than millions of tons of ghee which were poured for millions of years by millions of sages while serving Krishna and trying to please him through yajna. So Brahmaji is saying, therefore, my dear Lord, I want to give up my position as the controller of the universe. And I want to take the position of being a member of the family in Braj. Tadastu me natha sadbhuri bhagam bhavetra vanyatra tovatirascham yenaham ekopi bhavajjananam bhutva nisheve tava pada pallavam. If I just become a member of the family here, I will constantly get to serve and please Krishna. That is my aspiration. Yenaham ekopi bhavajjananam. May I just become one amongst this village of Braj, where the beautiful fragrance of serving Krishna is constantly being experienced. So therefore, Lord Chaitanya defines this as Name Ruchi, which means we develop a taste in serving Krishna, serving Krishna's devotees. And we overcome our tendency to serve the material energy, Maya. And we try to overcome that. We try to forget that. Because this material world is a prison house. So one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, tells the story that he came to Srila Prabhupada with great anxiety. He joined ISKCON around 1967, and just after that, 1969, he talked to Prabhupada and he said to Srila Prabhupada that, Srila Prabhupada, because of some crime I had done before meeting you, I will have to spend time in the prison. They are going to put me in jail. And he was very afraid that Prabhupada will say, I reject you. Oh, you are a devotee, now you are going to jail. What will happen to the good name of ISKCON? But Prabhupada, immediately when he heard that I will have to go to jail, Prabhupada said, Krishna was born in jail. So he was totally taken off guard. And then Prabhupada said, why are you going to jail? And very hesitatingly he said, Srila Prabhupada, because I was dealing with drugs. Prabhupada said, oh, I was also running Prayag pharmacy. So he was saying something, Prabhupada was saying something, but the important thing is, one of the roles and the duties of a spiritual teacher is before they give education, they have to give encouragement. You may pour nectar, but if the vessel is not there, where the nectar will sit? And therefore, if someone is in a state of trauma and in a state of devastation, depression, defeat, then there are just so many holes that nothing will stay. So a devotee should always try to encourage others. Give them the hope that yes, Krishna is there, Vaishnavas are there with you. And you need the strength to tolerate the situation. That's a very, very important principle. So he felt so encouraged by Srila Prabhupada that he got the spirit to fight. And then Prabhupada asked, for how many years the sentence is? And he said, 5 years or 4 years. Prabhupada said, you just chant Hare Krishna in the jail. They'll release you. And he didn't understand, how is it possible? You chant and they'll release you. So he started, when he was in the jail, within a couple of months, someone came with a release order. And they released him. And he asked, who has signed this? And they said, I don't know. I've been ordered to release you. Till date, he doesn't know how it happened. It was mystic. And because he was released from the jail, then he could go to London in 1970 and then connect with the Beatles. Otherwise, who would have connected with George Harrison if he was in the jail? And then he came to India in 1971. And Prabhupada told him to have the Cross Maidan festival. So he organized the Cross Maidan festival. He was driving his car from Kalbadevi market in Mumbai, and it was his first experience driving in Bharat. He had never driven a car in India. So just having driver's license was not enough. People were jumping in from every direction. He couldn't figure out what to do. So he hit somebody by accident, and the guy fell on the ground right in front of him. A big crowd surrounded the car. They looked inside. Shyam Sundar Prabhu took the beads in his hands and started chanting Hare Krishna, thinking that this is the last. Now they will beat me up or do this, do that. To his utter surprise, he saw that the mob which had assembled jumped on the man who was hit and started beating him. So he got even more bewildered that I made the mistake, why are they beating him? Then he thought maybe in India they begin from there. And then after some time, they stopped and said, you go ahead. It was too much for him. He turned the window down and asked one local person who was speaking English, I made the mistake. Why was the poor guy beaten up? And this man said, you are dressed as Krishna's devotee. How dare he disturb Krishna's devotee? And he got so bewildered to hear this, that, oh, I am here in a culture where even if you are dressed as a devotee, there is such a major responsibility of expectations. So how we have to organize this event which will actually glorify Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. And so Srila Prabhupada engaged young people who are just in their 20s, just giving them an alternative engagement. People who were engaged previously with all kinds of other habits. Within a matter of 12 months, Prabhupada had engaged them in spreading Krishna consciousness globally. Another devotee girl who was hardly 18, 19 years old, she organized a big satsang for Prabhupada in Jaipur, very close to Govindadev temple, Pandal program. Thousands of people came. Prabhupada was so happy. Prabhupada was introducing her to the other local people, that she's so dedicated. He did all this just now in such a short time. And those, one of the businessmen who was in that event, he was a little skeptical. So he told Srila Prabhupada, your disciples, Hare Krishna chanting, singing is okay. Singing okay, but philosophy, they don't know. Prabhupada said, what do you mean? This girl who organized the event, she knows all the Upanishads. And that lady, she got bewildered. Because she knew only 5 shlokas of Ishopanishad. And Prabhupada, she knows all the Upanishads. So Prabhupada then turned to her and said, chant the Upanishads. Let them hear you. And she got bewildered that without even asking me how much I know, Prabhupada has advertised. So she started chanting the first shloka, second shloka, Ishopanishad. When she reached the 5th shloka, her heart was beating heavily. What will happen? Prabhupada said, bas, that means you know everything. So that man who was objecting, he said, Swamiji, she chanted, but her Sanskrit pronunciation was not proper. He was still finding some fault. Prabhupada said, but her renunciation is perfect. She has renounced all other activities and attachments and come to serve Krishna here and establish Krishna consciousness in India amongst all of you. What are you doing? So therefore, that is the power of the chanting of the holy names, that it completely transforms all of our previous desires, aspirations and habits. Na tathahi agavan rajan puyeta tapa adivi yata Krishna arpita prana tad purusha nishevaya. So in the Jamil pastime at the very beginning this verse comes. Agavan rajan, the heart may be filled with lots of sinful tendencies, but just by doing tapasya, etc., it cannot get purified. How will it get purified? Yatha Krishna arpita prana. Find out someone who is serving Krishna. Tat purusha nishevaya, and then serve that devotee. So therefore, unless we serve the devotee, unless we aspire to serve, there cannot be the transformation. That is called Name Ruchi, expressing one's aspiration to serve. Kvachaham kitava papa brahmagna nirapatrapa क्वच नारायणत्येति Bhagavan Nama Mangalam. Ajamil is saying, where am I so fallen? And where is the holy name so pure? Still the holy name did not hesitate to associate with me. Bhagavan Nama Mangalam. And therefore the concluding verse of Ajamil pastime is Mriyamano Harirnama Grinana Putropacharitam Ajamilopi Agadhama Kim Punashraddhaya Grinan. Ajamil chanted with intensity only at the time of death. What if we chant every day with intensity? Ajamil called out to his son. What if we call out directly to the Lord? Ajamil was not following the regulative principles and leading a sinful life till death. What if we try to sincerely practice and follow the principles? And Ajamil never heard the glories of the holy name. But what if we understand the glories of the holy name and absorb ourselves in the process? And therefore, in the 11th canto, Pingala, she says, Santam samipe ramanam ratipradam vittapradam nityamimam vihaya akamadam dukkha bhayadi shoka mohapradam tucchamaham bhajegya. I have been engrossed in sense gratification, forgetful of the fact that the Lord who can give all the pleasure is sitting right there within me. Santam samipe ramanam ratipradam. He can offer everything. I am forgetting him and chasing here and there. And what is the result? Akamadam. There is no satisfaction. There is only guilt. Dukkha. There is distress. Bhaya. Fear. Shoka. Lamentation. Moha. Illusion. And it is foolishness. And therefore, when Thakur Haridas is approached by that prostitute lady, Haridasa kahe toma karimu angikar sankhya purvaka nama na hoye amar. Thakur Haridas says, I will accept you, but my rounds are not yet over. When my rounds are over, then I will accept. Thakur Haridas could say that. We should not say that. We should run away. Sankhya Purvaka Nama. So therefore, what does Lord Nityananda say when he refers to Lord Chaitanya? Tomar doi hasta baddha nama ganane jalapatra pahirvasa bohibe ke mane. Lord Chaitanya is chanting with fingers of one hand and is counting with the other. So Lord Chaitanya is keeping close track of all the rounds that he is chanting. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport says, this verse is the pramana that the chanting must be done with keeping count. This is when Lord Chaitanya is going towards South India. So some young student was arguing with me, where in Gita Krishna is saying chant 16 rounds. Did he ever ask Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna, have you finished your rounds? Did Arjuna ever tell Krishna, my dear Lord, take the chariot behind that tree, 4 rounds with me? कहाँ से तुम लोग लेके आ गए? 16 rounds. अरे I'm totally very frustrated in life. My boss is always asking me for numbers. My family is asking me numbers. Neighbors are asking. Everybody is behind me for numbers only. Frustrated, I come to the temple to relax. And here also numbers. Why you are not chanting 16? What is your problem? Show me your 24 hours. I will figure out the plan for you. अरे मंदिर आते रिलैक्स करिए. यहाँ पर भी पीछे लग गए. माला कितना हो, ये कितना हो. अरे भक्ति is supposed to be of bhav. You guys remind me of some kind of, marketing presentation. You have to achieve this target. Don't make it corporate kind of ambience. It should be like bhav. Your mood किया. अंदर से आना चाहिए. अंदर से भाव जागना चाहिए. आज करेंगे. तो ऐसा ठीक है कब भाव कब जागोगे कभी नहीं. Said never. That's why we are indicating this. So I said Prabhupada said, what does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Satatam kirtayantu. You should be constantly chanting. Can you do that? No. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada mercifully said, chant 16 rounds. Understand? He said, Prabhupada ki jai. So our acharyas have custom designed everything for us, for our benefit. So when Haridas Thakur tells this prostitute that you just wait, I will, fulfill your desire. So she just sits there next to the Tulsi and hears Thakur Haridas's chanting. Tulsi tanke besha namaskara kori dware boshi nama shune bole hari hari. And she started chanting also after some time, hearing. Thakur Haridas didn't give her a whole seminar on holy name or didn't give philosophy of why you are doing like this, why you are doing that. You just sit. You hear my chanting. That's all. And just by the power of Thakur Haridas's chanting, that Vaishya was impacted. What impacted her? Haridas Thakur's intention and intensity. So when we are hearing, what enters into our heart is the intention of the one who is speaking. So Thakur Haridas's intention was simply, let me be engaged in Krishna's service. His intention was so pure and so intense that his mind could not process any prospect of enjoyment which is separate from Krishna's service. So it was not even a consideration for him. So many times devotees say, my chanting is distracted, my mind goes here and there. So we are not following a yogic process. We are devotees. And therefore we have to focus on our alignment between our aspiration and action. Because when you call somebody, you speak for some time, you hardly ever repeat one thing again and again to the other person. Whereas 2 hours we are repeating same thing to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What does this mantra mean? Please engage me in your service. So we are saying this for 2 hours minimum every day. Please engage me. 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 So for 2 hours when you say this to somebody, they'll take it seriously. No? If someone comes to the, overall and please engage me in the kitchen. Please engage me in vegetable cutting. Please engage me. It's okay, come. No, please engage him. So then you get confused. I thought you told me. And that too you told me for 2 hours. Engage me, engage me, engage me, engage me. So when I come to engage you, suddenly you are saying, not me, somebody else. So next day again he says, please engage me, please engage me. Then you are like looking at it, paas jana hai ki nahi iske paas. So that is what happens with Krishna. He gets bewildered with our previous day's response and is wondering how much closer I should go to this guy who's calling me. Does he really mean what he's saying? So whenever you feel in a relationship with either your office colleagues or your family members or your friend circle, somebody is not really meaning what they are saying. They are taking me for granted. What do? Come closer or go distant? That is what happens with Krishna. So therefore, here, वैश्या कहे कृपा कोरी करह उपदेश की मोर कर्तव्य जाते जाए भव क्लेश. What is my responsibility? What is my duty? Right? Everybody in this world is busy analyzing data. Nobody is trying to analyze duty. So therefore, ki mora kartavya? What is my kartavya? How can I overcome bhava klesh? Please tell me that. And at this time, Thakur Haridas, he says that please engage in this chanting and sit next to the Tulasi. Transform your consciousness. तबे से वैश्या गुरुर आज्ञा लैला गृह वित्त जे बाचिल ब्राह्मणेरे दिला. Whatever she had, she just distributed, accepting the Guru's order upon head. And then she comes and starts serving Tulasi. Tulasi sevan kare Charvan upavas Indriya damana hoila Prenira prakash. She starts serving Tulasi. Charvan, she controls her eating. Upavas, she follows all the rules and regulations diligently of the various holy days, tithis. And when she does all these three, what is the effect? Indriya damana hoila. Her senses come under control. Prevera prakash. And so love manifests within her heart. For someone whose lifestyle and character and behavior and habits were totally anti Krishna conscious before. Prasiddha Vaishnavi hoila parama mohanti bada bada Vaishnava tare darshane te janti. She became a very, very respectable Vaishnavi. Parama mohanti, extremely knowledgeable. And so many devotees came to take her shelter. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established Nama Acharya Haridas Thakur as the Acharya of the holy name, who's constantly begging to be engaged in Krishna's service. So someone may say, but I don't see him doing any service. He's only sitting in Siddha Bakul, chanting 20 hours. But the intensity and the purity of his intention to serve is stronger, purer than somebody who may be physically moving their hands and legs. Sannyasi pandita ganer korite garvanash, nicha shudra dwara kore dharmira prakash. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically humbled the scholarly and the highborn because he wanted to demonstrate that bhakti is not a privilege of any material consideration. You may be materially privileged, but that does not give you access to spiritual privilege. Haridas Dwara Nama Mahatmya Prachar Sanatana Dwara Bhakti Siddhanta Vilas. So through Thakur Haridas, he spread the glories of holy name, and through Sanatana Goswami, the glories of Bhakti, the Bhakti Siddhanta. So therefore, this is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Name Ruchi, which is taste in the holy name. But what does that taste mean? It means please engage me in Vaishnava Seva. Please engage me in Vaishnava Seva. That's what the chanting of the holy name means. So Name Ruchi means aspiration to serve. Vaishnava Seva means access, actions to serve. So then, when you are praying, please engage me in service, and then you are actually also doing the service, you go through the experience of transformation. And then you want to bring others also. And that is called giving access to serve. You have to give to conditioned souls the access to serve. That is called Jive Daya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Swaparshada Sviya Dhama Saha Avatari Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kori Bare Dana Shikhaye Sharanagati Bhakatera Prana. So Lord Chaitanya specifically came to demonstrate the sixfold Sharanagati principle. Bhagavad Bhaktitam Sarva Iti Utsrijya Vidherapi Kainkarya Krishna Padaika Ashrayatvam Sharanagati. Sharanagati means three things. First, how to serve and please Krishna. Second, how to follow the process of bhakti to do that. Third, how to neglect anything which is opposed to that bhakti. So when Vibhishan came with 4 ministers to surrender to Lord Ram, Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Raghavaya Mahatmane Nivedayadamam Kshipram Vibhishanam Upasthitam. My dear Lord, I am standing here seeking shelter. What do those 4 ministers represent? The 4 ministers represent the 4 limbs of Sharanagati. Akinchanatvam, I have nothing. Ananyagatitvam, I have no other place to go. Saralta, the simplicity with which the Lord is accepting. Shakti, and the Lord is so powerful, He doesn't care. Whoever from whatever background may come, they cannot contaminate Him or harm Him. He will only purify them by His touch. And therefore, Jive Daya means we are giving access to everybody. Sakrudeva prapannoyas tava asmi itiyache avayam sarvada tasme dadame tadvatam mama. Lord Ram is saying, I am giving this. Wow. Anyone can come and take my shelter. I give them Abhay Dan. So therefore, we are extremely grateful to His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has given us entrance into this process. Nameruchi, Vaishnav Seva, Jivedaya, through a very, very organized methodology of a global society where the Vaishnava Sangha becomes so easily accessible. And therefore we should be very careful how we deal with the Vaishnava Sangha, because it is the Vaishnavas who attract us to Krishna. But the same Vaishnavas also, if not understood properly, can become the cause for our getting distanced from Krishna. The Vaishnavas increase our taste in Krishna consciousness. But if you don't know how to deal with the Vaishnavas, they will become the cause for diminishing our taste. That is called Radha. Radha means satisfaction. Aparadha means diminishing satisfaction. So the same process you follow, but the satisfaction is going on decreasing. Externally, mechanically, one is following the practices and processes, but the experience is elusive because of misbehaving with the Vaishnavas. May not be externally, but internally one has cut oneself off from having Shraddha in the Vaishnavas. One is externally playing the social game very well, but one cannot cheat the Paramatma. And the Paramatma is seeing that this person is wearing all the dress of the devotee, but internally this person has become skeptical and has lost faith in the devotees and even become internally critical. And therefore, as soon as the Paramatma smells that, then gradually Radha, the satisfaction goes on diminishing. Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dekhai dosh, kaya mane vakya kore Vaishnava santosh. And therefore we should always try to serve and please the devotees in every possible way. And be extremely careful how we deal and reciprocate in the Vaishnava Sangha, because Srila Prabhupada has created this society with great care and attention, and it is our biggest privilege that we are getting this chance to serve the devotees in this association in Krishna consciousness. And therefore we should really feel fortunate that we are serving the Lord's devotees and getting all this opportunity. So Nameruchi, Vaishnava Seva, and Jive Daya. Right? And this is the natural outpouring of the soul. Many times, people think, Hare Krishna, you are brainwashing. Somebody told Prabhupada, they are saying we are brainwashing. Prabhupada said, no, we are washing the brain. The contamination. Right? When anybody goes to any temple, college student goes to any other temple, Hindu temple, this temple, that temple, parents don't object. And he starts coming to Hare Krishna temple. So, be careful. Why? Yad gatvana nivartante. After going there, you will get changed. And why that change happens? Because of understanding the philosophy. One brahmachari joined the ashram, his father was coming and arguing with me. Why he has joined at such a young age? When he is my age, my son should join. I said, let the sun go, you join. But the leader, he looked at me and said, I will ask at home. Next day he came and said, let my son continue. So in this age of Kali, the practice of this process is very, very difficult. Because the list of rules and regulations we have is so long that just by seeing that, people get bewildered. So therefore, we have to understand the process is on the path to perfection. The goal is perfection. The path may be filled with a lot of imperfections, but we should never lose hope and continue. So we should ourselves not lose hope and not allow others to lose hope and take everyone along in this journey of Nameruchi, Vaishnava Seva and Jive Daya. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Questions, okay?
Dear devotees, if anyone has any questions, you can please raise your hand. Yes, please go.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I was just listening to you. You said intensity to serve should be more, even if, for the Gurudev and even for us, you said actions has to be taken. But for some, intensity to serve more is enough. Can you please elaborate on that?
Yeah. First of all, there is intention. When there is pure intention, then you need the right inspiration. When you have the inspiration, then you should have the proper intelligence to make the right choices. When you make the right choices with good intelligence, then you need to have the integrity to follow the principles and follow what you have, chosen to serve. And then once you have the integrity, then you need to know that once you begin the process of seva, there will be lots of obstacles and challenges and difficulties even in the seva. So you need to have the intensity to be able to move through the obstacles during the journey. Like when Prabhupada established ISKCON, there was a lot of pushback, and there was in 1970s there was a case where they slapped a case on ISKCON saying it is brainwashing in the New York courts. So they would have stopped the movement that time. And it was a very serious case, brainwashing. So Prabhupada told one of his disciples, who was the president there, that you fight the case. He said, I'm not a trained lawyer, advocate, or Prabhupada said, take the Srimad Bhagavatam to the court. Speak from the Bhagavatam. First canto, first chapter, first verse. Second day, speak from the second verse. Third day, speak from the third verse. Convert the court case into Bhagavatam class. He was like speaking with conviction that we are not a cult, we are representing Sampradaya, this is the literature, this. So after a few days, the judge only asked him, how much more evidence you have? He said, we have 18,000 shlokas, himself and so many others. So this judge called a Harvard divinity professor, and who was his friend. He said, what do you think of this? Swami Prabhupada and his books and everything. So the library party had given the books. So that divinity professor said, those books are authentic. It is representing a bona fide line from India. It is not a cult. So the judge didn't bother to hear the case further. He just gave his verdict. The Hare Krishna is not a cult, it is a bona fide religion. And it got published in all the newspapers. And if you read Giriraj Maharaj's book, I Shall Build You a Temple, that paper headline is printed also in that. So when you embark on this journey, you are trying to escape from Maya. Just like your client, sometimes after many years of being your client, if they decide to leave and go to someone else, you feel some pinch and you try to convince them, "Arey, where you are going? What is the other service we can offer? Rate kam kar dega, ye kar dega, kya karo?" So like that, Maya will keep on offering, because she is seeing suddenly you are leaving her service and going to Krishna. So she becomes alarmed. अरे अपना client जा रहा है. पकड़ो. So she will not leave so easily. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Oh, danger. Duratyaya means from the least expected place, how she will sneak in and catch you and bring you back. It's unimaginable. Duratyaya. So, Maya is very, very tough. She will not allow the conditioned soul to escape her clutches and go to Krishna so easily. Okay? Anyone else has any other question? Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Can you elaborate on Vaishnav Seva?
Vaishnava Seva basically means keeping the priority of serving and pleasing the Vaishnav's desires. Like I give the example of Kaviraj Goswami. At the age of 85, 90, 95, he is serving the Vaishnavas of Vrindavan by writing the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he says, Paya jara agyadhan brajera Vaishnavakan tara madhya mukhya haridas Chaitanya Bilasa Sindhu Kallolera Ekabindu Taha Kana Kohi Krishnadas. I am doing this because Vaishnavas have instructed me, and the Haridas Pandit, who is the leader of the devotees here, he has guided me. So therefore, although I may be in